Yeah. Pocket full of money, swisher loaded with gas. Celebration in order, you're now watching a class. Pocket full of money, swisher loaded with gas. Celebration in order, you're now watching a class. Pocket.
Welcome back to another episode of Unpopular Honesty. Today we're not gonna even waste no time. We're gonna cut straight to it. If anybody out there knew me personally, you knew that there was a certain topic of conversation that I was not gonna let slide. Case in point, it was reported that for the first time in 30 years, there has not been a rap album or song that has topped Billboard. Now that was very interesting to me. I mean, let's be all the way honest here. In the beginning, hip hop was never dictated by the charts. A lot of people didn't consider hip hop real music in the beginning. Let's be honest. It took some time for us to get to where we are today. But now the charts have become a reflection of hip hop because hip hop has dominated the charts for the last 30 years plus. So the question becomes, why hasn't there been a hip hop album or song that has topped Billboard? And when people started to unpack the reasons why, I found it very funny because it sounded like a politically correct version of what I've been saying all along. For those who don't know me personally, I have always had a very stern and stiff opinion about music, in particular hip hop. See, everything was all right and all cool until I say by 2007. That's when technology started to advance. The sound of rap started to morph into other things. The internet was starting to become the base of a lot of generation of music, especially the new generation of music. You know, when Soulja Boy got his deal through YouTube, it revolutionized the game going forward. Because from that point on, you've seen artists who became big get their start on platforms like YouTube. You've seen artists who blew up and went to superstardom, but they might have started off on SoundCloud. You had artists who were putting records out on Dat Piff, the mixtape site, and garnering so much buzz that it got them a record deal. All of these things kind of took place one after another. But it also altered the sound of hip hop because hip hop didn't sound the same. A lot of things were being incorporated. I feel like they incorporated melody into it because now you have rap artists who don't even rap. They just get on the record and croon and harmonize and throw a little auto-tune on it, and it's considered a rap song when really it's an R&B record. Nobody wants to say that, and when I say it, I get labeled as a hater. Anyway, I digress. So the game changed, technology advanced. You have the sound of rap alter. You have the introduction of auto-tune. You have basically the quality of rap was lowered. The standards became extremely low. The bar was set extremely low because now you can say anything, you can do anything, long as it's a catchy hook and a beat that people can nod their head to. Hey, who can do no wrong? And that's what we seen coming forward. We seen less and less MCs, more noise pollution makers. We seen less and less quality classic material coming from the new generation. Yet you still had the OGs represent. And then you had the introduction of a Big Crit, the introduction of Jermaine Cole, the introduction of Kendrick Lamar. Those three names in particular stand out in this generation because they serve as the saving grace of this generation. The reason why is because they were able to pull out quality classic material within this time frame that I've laid out for you already. Artists are now expressing why they feel rap is in the state that it's in. They recently asked Bow Wow at an award show, and his response was basically a politically correct version of what I've been saying all along. So you knew that I was going to come on this platform and say, I told you so. Yes, I did it. I said it first. I called this shit out a long time ago. But the difference in me and someone like a Bow Wow is because Bow Wow has an audience. Bow Wow has fame, popularity, notoriety. He's known. And I am not. But just because I am not known, don't have the fame or notoriety, doesn't mean that I didn't say this all along. And it was truth. In these days, people can know the truth and still ignore it because the lie is more entertaining. I had to accept my role in this situation a while ago. It was something that I had been supposed to say, but I just didn't say it, or whatever. But with my stern view on hip hop, I just have to be honest about this because there's nobody that's being honest about it. Everybody is pacifying the situation and going along with whatever's popular. And to be honest, that was the genesis of this podcast, this platform that we are on right now, because honesty became unpopular. It's not really popular when people hear it. Thus, the creation of unpopular honesty. But deeper than that, my thoughts, my views, it's not a hard or far-fetched idea to say that, yes, I am the Kevin Samuels of hip hop. Because no one is willing to speak the truth about hip hop on the level that I do. Now we're discussing the first time in Billboard history that rap has not been on the top of it. And a lot of that is what you all know. A lot of rap sounds the same. It's boring and redundant. Not only that, there's nothing that's coming out that you can say, oh, I'm going to hear this 10, 20 years later. People are not making that type of music. They're just making music that's cool for the moment. A vibe is cool for the moment. A vibe is cool for the night. But they're not making music that lasts. And you can tell it don't last because they put it out and don't nobody even talk about it. We have to be honest here. The content of rap has got a lot of people deterred because it promotes a lot of negativity. Let's talk about that. Most of the predominant part of what you hear on radio is records that you should not let your children listen to. Yet I can walk outside in a community full of young black kids and they know the lyrics to these songs without the songs even being played. Now, it's not my place to say what your child shouldn't listen to or should listen to, because that falls back on the parenting. What I am talking about is there's positive rap out there. The positive rap not being played on the radio and not being promoted by the mainstream media or the major corporations. And it's a reason why. Just like there's a reason why you can turn on the radio and hear about death, destruction, and selling vagina all day, every day. Oh, we're going to get all the way real about this. It's a reason why. And it's a reason why you go along with it. Because you have been programmed to go along with it. I have a hip hop house. And I have a hip hop car. There's certain things that will never play in my house or my car. And the reason being is because what you listen to is very important. Because it's not far from who you are and what you believe. Most people listen to music because they can relate to it. Now, you saying to yourself, if someone plays trash over and over and over and over again, you're saying to yourself, well, what is it about trash that that person can relate to? And I'm just using trash as an example. If you listen to trash, 9 times out of 10, your life might be about trash. Your thought process might be trash. Your selection in how you move may possibly be trash. You see how that trickles down? People don't think about it, but music plays on the psyche, which is why people know the lyrics of the songs while the songs are not even on. And it's played on radio over and over and over and over. Because if you listen to radio within a 24-hour period, you can write down how many times you will hear certain records. But none of them are positive. You got to ask yourself, why is that? Why are the masses promoting nothing but negativity? Because it's a systematic plan. It's a systematic plan to keep black people going to the graveyard and to the jail cell. All through the music that you love and enjoy. Yeah, that's what it's about. But nobody wants to have that discussion. So, we're going to keep it pushing. At the recent award show, it was said by people who watched it that the best performers were from the 80s and the 90s. And I said, that is very interesting. Because, only in hip hop does this ageism conversation exist. It doesn't exist on no other genre of music. It only exists in rap. They say that, some people say past 30 years old trying to rap, they laugh at you. They make little jokes. They got little memes and all kind of little funny little euphemisms to poke fun at somebody who's trying to pursue music. But I always believe that there's no age limit on music. See, music is not a sport. I don't have to be physically in tip-top shape to continue to rap. My mind has to be right, and I have to have that style and that skill to spit to still do rap. And for the record, the best rappers are in their late 30s, 40s, and 50s. Why? Because we have the most style, the most skill. We actually know how to perform. We're more likely to create classic material, more likely to push the culture forward. As we celebrate Hip Hop 50 this year, I told you that this hip hop conversation is going to continue. And look at where we are. Look at where we are. We are in 2023, August 11th, 2023. Hip hop will be 50 years old. A lot of people did not think that this culture, this music, would go this far. When I celebrate hip hop's 50th, I will be making a toast to the first 30 years. The most important eras in hip hop. Because I don't consider the last 20 a part of hip hop, to be honest with you. It's nothing hip hop about a bunch of people only talking about killing people all day. If that's your life, that's cool. But when you have a large amount of artists who all share the same content, it becomes boring and redundant. It becomes something that you shy away from. It becomes something you want to not associate yourself with because it comes with a negative stigmatism. It's no wonder that people are going listening to country music and Afro beats because people are tired of the energy of rap. And when I say rap, I mean mainstream rap. What is considered mainstream? What is pumped in the club? What is played on the radio? What most of your peer groups are listening to? It's all negative music. It's either genocidal or it's hoecidal. And we're not going to leave the hoecidal part out. No, we're going to talk about that because that's a systematic plan also. See, if you get all the young men to want to be killers and then you switch the gun laws and make it easy for people to have access to guns, and then you pump in the music that makes them want to be killers and use the guns, you're starting to understand the plan. Now let's look at the hoecidal side. If you get a generation of women who see no value in marriage or relationships, who only look at life as what can I get out of a man, meaning monetary, you eliminate the family structure. You eliminate the possibility of it being a family because you can't build a family with a whore. A lot of women are going to get upset about what I'm about to say. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a fuck. If I'm outside and there's an attractive woman that pulls up in her car, and obviously I see that she's attractive because I looked, but she's playing Megan Thee Stallion, what do you think that I'm thinking? Is this a young lady that I would like to get to know? Is this somebody who I would even approach and try to talk to? No. Why? Because you can't listen to whole music and not have some type of attachment to it. You can't listen to that type of music and not have something in it that relates to you, that correlates to your real life. And people don't realize it. 9 times out of 10, if that's what she's listening to, that's how she's living her life. No knock to anybody who does live their life like that, but that's just not the woman for me. That's not no woman that I would talk to. That's not no woman that I would ever approach. It's a turn off. It's a red flag, a turn off, all of the above. You get no play in this ride. But the reality of it is this mentality, this homicidal mentality, is even starting to buckle, I noticed. On a recent interview, they asked one of the city girls who just admitted that she was a whore before he asked this question. What do you think if your daughter comes to you and asks you or tells you that she's going to be a city girl? And her response was, she's not going to be a city girl. And I'm not wishing that on nobody, because really, that's a bad thing to wish on someone, you know. But how it goes in this life, if your mother is a factory worker, more than likely you're going to work at a factory. Let me just put it like that. So if your mother's a city girl, it might have another title by the time your daughter gets of age. But the internet is forever. What you've already done and said is gonna be public record. And she's gonna want to know about her mother one day. And she's gonna go back and look at all that. The interviews, the videos. And what you think that little girl is gonna think? It's a cold one, boy. But yeah, it's even, you know, at the recent Essence Festival, you know, you had India Ari. Shout out to India Ari. She called out, you know, Janelle Monáe for being on stage with all those ladies and Megan twerking. And there need to be more of them being called out for that. You know, because that's another thing. Like a lot of what's going on with our music can be stopped if we say, hey, that ain't cool. To be honest with you. You know, it's been going on because ain't nobody getting checked about nothing. See, they didn't put checking in the category of bullying. You know, you're not allowed to speak against what's going on, or you get ostracized for it, or you get blackballed for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of that going on, you know. But over here at Unpopular Honesty, I'm going to keep it 100% truthful. And I've always said that this music sucks ass through a straw. I've already said that a lot of these people cannot rap. Yeah, I said a lot of these people cannot rap at all. They don't have a classic nothing under their belt. And these people, you know, I see people getting into debates about them. It's like debating about which garbage can has the most garbage in it. What are you comparing? What is there to compare? Trash versus trash. That's all that's on the radio. That's all that's in the club. I don't see how people can function normally when that shit is on. Because when that shit comes on, that's my time to leave. My mind can't wrap around that bullshit. See, I'm very zero tolerant on bullshit. And wherever I go, the music gotta be right. And if the music not right, bread ain't gonna be there. Because I'm a big believer in, wherever there's stupid sounds, you can expect stupid activity. I mean, look at the attendance of the clubs in the cities you live in, and you tell me if it ain't good or if it ain't bad. You know I'm not lying. Because every other night, what you watching? A fight that turned into a shootout. Well, at the club. And what was they playing? Dumb Dumb Diddy. What was they playing? Dumb Dumb Diddy. That's what the fuck they was playing. Yeah. Let's be all the way honest about it. It brings negative energy, which is why you have people going to other genres of music. Down here where I'm from, a lot of people go to the swing out clubs and go to Zydeco's to try to counteract that activity. People go to a jazz spot or to an R&B spot in a bigger city just to avoid that type of energy. Hip hop wasn't like that before. Hip hop used to welcome all and have all people of all races in one room. Now hip hop is like social media. It has divided more people than it has brought people together. We got to be real about this, man. We got to be real about this. I hope y'all listen to me. I hope y'all paid attention. You know what I'm saying? This is part one of The Tables Turn. This is Unpopular Honesty, the home of brutal honesty in real hip hop music. My name is Kornbread Capone. If you would like to support the machine, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to YouTube, Bread TV, OMR. The Cashapp is $OMR for life. And until next time, everybody, peace and love. Because that's what the world needs, man. Peace and love. You know what I'm talking about?